Assessment 2 Case Studies Driving the Elderly. Greetings. Today in this presentation I'm going to be talking about budget. Our budget is based on our business, which is a transportation business. The presentation will include who uses the budget, what assumptions can be made from the budget, and what decisions we can make based on the budget. This business leases 3 cars, which are then contracted to different driving services. One is used for an Uber service, another has a driving Miss Daisy franchise agreement, and the other is contracted by the Cancer Society to pick up and drop off cancer patients to appointments and hospitals and other medical facilities. The owner/manager runs the business from a home office. What is a budget? A budget can be defined as the estimation of revenue and expenses over a specific time period and can be used by governments, companies, or individuals. A budget plans all financial aspects an entity may have over a period of time, which is normally a year, and is known to contribute greatly to the success of any financial undertaking. As shown in the annual budget for a driving business, we can see that our company has made a positive income value of $218,550 for the year. In terms of expenses, we have an overall cost of $197,230. This total is associated with other expenses that the business must cover, such as the lease, petrol, and insurance for all 3 services, which include Uber, Driving Miss Daisy, and the Cancer Society. The total cost for these services add up to $2,015 per month, or $24,180 for the year. Another expense we need to look at is wages and salaries, which come to $168,250, and total other expenses such as repairs and maintenance for the vehicles and our computer and office equipment is $4,800. After adding all our expenses up, we know that the company will make an overall profit of $21,320 for the year. Who will use this budget? Managers and owners, accountants, and banks will use this budget. Managers and owners can use this budget to determine the sales their Uber drivers or any driving service makes. Management also uses budgets to evaluate the performance of employees and their department. Managers also provide employees rewards for when they get a good compliment or tips. Accountants assist business owners in the preparation of the overall plan by evaluating the cost of each driving service and types of company operations earning the most profits. This helps the business owner orient the company to more profitable operations. Accountants also make sure you can deduct the actual expenses of operating the vehicle, including gasoline, oil, insurance, car registration, repairs, maintenance, and avoid losing money by paying staff for work that produces less income. Also, the good thing about having an accountant is because they manage your money, they organize your invoice, prepare your statements, and analyze information which is sent to the management and the bank. The bank helps with the driving service by budgeting your money, which allows you to create a spending plan for your money. It ensures that you will always have enough money for things that are important to you, like paying for your fuel, car insurance, and etc. Following a budget or spending plan will also keep you out of debt or help you work your way out of debt if you're currently in debt. Management and accountants will also make sure you're not in debt with the bank. What assumptions have been made in preparing this budget? What is an assumption? Assumptions are ideas based on the budget report that are looked upon by the business before making any decisions. They are also made to help the business be able to plan and look at ways to strategize, ways to increase the number of sales going up, and think of ways to benefit the business in the long run. This is usually referred to the income and expenses of a business, and then the assumptions are based from there. The assumption for the business. The assumptions based on the budget report for driving the elderly assumes that we will be expecting the sales to grow by at least 10 to 15% each year, and this will be an assumption when forecasting the amount of sales and revenue that will be earned this year. This is due to the budget report for the number of income being consistently high each month, and which means that it is expected to not be affected by any external factors such as emergency events like lockdown or competitive competition within the market. This is also because the driving services has become vital to customers like the cancer patients that use the Cancer Society service to get to and from medical facilities and appointments. We also assume that the price of petrol will increase by $2.50 a litre within the next 12 months, as petrol prices are already costing $2.30 a litre, which will mean that the cost of expenses for the business will also increase, as one of the vital expenses is petrol that is needed for the car to be able to move. This is expected as petrol is very expensive and GST is also added to it. What decisions can be made using this budget? Underperforming areas. Looking at our budget, we can see that if there's any underperforming areas of the business, judging by our analysis of the budget, we can see that the business is spending money on the Cancer Society but doesn't seem to see many financial gains compared to Uber and driving for Miss Daisy. An example of this problem is that we're spending 58 cents for 5,000 monthly quantity, whereas the driving for Miss Daisy spends 65 cents for a monthly quantity of 6,250 and is generating the least amount of money. The extra bit of money can be used for something else that can expand or help out the business, such as putting the money into Uber and driving Miss Daisy, as they're the profit generators for the company. Business strategic planning and budgeting. Some decisions can be made by looking at the business planning strategy. The idea of budgeting is to develop short and long-term plans to help the business grow. The creation of an annual plan can help the business proceed, although it may differ among companies. Planning is where the direction of the company over time wants to accomplish. Planning links to short-term and long-term goals. The objective is to make the best use of the business resources that are available over the long term. Budgeting is just one portion of the plan. The annual plan can be based on the long-term plan. Annual budget should also be consistent with the long-term goals of the business. The objective of planning and budgeting is to improve the profitability of the business. Expansion and business growth. If we include plans for expansion and purchases of equipment and property in our budget, means we also include growth in our budget. Budget helps us focus on setting aside money for the growth of our business. From looking at some areas of the business that are currently underperforming, like the Cancer Society, we can make a decision to cut out some of the costs from the Cancer Society and use the money for growth in other parts of the business, such as investing in new groups or even expanding the budget for Uber and driving for Miss Daisy, as they seem to be the money makers for the business with the most traffic. Another idea is to form a new contract with Cancer Society and merge it with Uber and or with driving for Miss Daisy and investing the budget with the other services. Investing into electric cars for the future is also a good for the long run, as it saves fuel expenses and producing more profit.